Hey everyone, it's Julie and I am back with another VR, this time to Patsy over at Two Paths Tarot. She's created a tarot tag called For the Love of Cards. I will link her video and I will also post the 10 questions for the tag in the description box below. Okay, here we go. Number 1. What was your first deck? My first deck was the Tarot Art Nouveau, which is from Lo Scarabeo. It is a very pretty deck. I am a huge fan of Art Nouveau. I will say it was not a good learning deck for me as a beginner. And yeah, I have since parted with that deck because I never ended up connecting with it. Number 2, favorite deck creator. Well, I think Barbara Moore writes some of the best guidebooks out there. So I would say she's a favorite. And then for illustrator, I will say Stephanie Puiman-Law. Her artistry is amazing. So yeah, I've given you writer, illustrator. Okay, number 3, your favorite tarot, your favorite system, tarot, oracle, etc. My favorite system would be tarot. Majority of my decks are tarot decks and it is my first love. Number 4, favorite system within tarot. The RWS. Most of my decks are RWS. And it's the first system I learned with. I'm the most familiar and comfortable with it. Although I am also having fun with PIP decks now, but if I had to choose, it would be RWS. Number 5, last deck you bought. The Moon Void Tarot. I had to think about this one. This is an indie deck from Stephanie Caponi, and I bought this one back in April. And I also modified this deck. I did color on the cards. It is a predominantly black and white deck, and it does have splashes of red in a few of the cards, but I did some coloring, and if you want to check out a flip through of this deck mod, I will link that video as well. Yeah, this is it's a great deck. It's a deep deck for me and quite personal. I don't think it's one that I would use to read for others. This is just one that I will use for myself. But yeah, it's very introspective, and I think I've said this before, but you know, I see myself a lot. You know, I see myself as the character that keeps showing up in these images. Number 6, favorite deck right now. This might be a lame answer because I just got this deck and I haven't even used it, but whatever. I'm gonna say the Everyday Witch Oracle because, yeah, I mean, I'm not gonna go on and on and on about, you know, the Everyday Witch Tarot, but I am so happy to have this, and I'm excited to work with it. I've just been spending some time looking at the images more closely. I did do an unboxing and quick flip through of this deck. I will link that as well. But yeah, you know, when you're doing a flip through like that, you don't get to really focus in on a lot of the details, and the more I stare at the images, the more in love I am with this deck. So yeah, we'll see how this reads for me. I'm really looking forward to working with it. I'm probably gonna start working with it this month, not gonna lie. Number 7, favorite deck of all time. I mean, do I even have to say it? Do I have to? Okay, fine, Everyday Witch. And I'll stop there. I'll stop there because you can flip through any of my other videos and I will probably be going on and on about that deck. Okay, number Where am I? Number 8. What deck would you love to own? I would love to own the Idiosynchro deck, but I know that's a unicorn deck. It won't happen. It's not likely to happen just because it's an out-of-print deck. The creator has said that she does not plan to reprint. So yeah, it's not meant to be, but that is a deck that is totally my jam. I love the vector imagery, and yeah, the minors are more Pipish, which now I'm more into Pip style decks, so that's not an issue. But you know, I've seen a couple decks selling on eBay and whatnot, and the prices are pretty ridiculous. So oh well, I have other decks that I can happily work with. Number 9, a deck you have but struggle with. Usually, when I have a deck that I struggle with or can't connect with, it doesn't stay in my collection for very long. So the only, the only deck I could come up with is the Cat Tarot. And I feel that it's unfair to call this deck out because I haven't used it yet. It was a lovely birthday gift from a friend who is a cat lover, and she knows that I'm a cat lover. So I just feel like, you know, maybe I'm being a little premature, but the reason that I suspect this might be a struggle for me to work with is that while the majors are not a problem for me, I understand the imagery. It's more the minors and the courts. When I was kind of flipping through the deck and looking through each of the cards, the minors and courts did not feel very intuitive to me. So let me try to just show you a few examples. So here is 5 of Pentacles, 6 of Pentacles. I'll show you a couple courts here. Knight of Pentacles, Queen, Ace of Swords, 2 of Swords. So yeah, I don't know. I just feel like Knight of Cups. Yeah, I don't know. I am hoping that the guidebook will clarify a few things for me, but just some examples where, yes, the imagery is cute, but I am not exactly making the clearest of connections. And then finally, number 10, if you could have a deck tailor-made for you, what would it be or look like? That would be a vampire deck. I have been on the hunt for a vampire deck for I don't know how long. I did have the Tarot of Vampires for a time, and we were just not meant to be. I gave it a fair try. I hung on to it for a decent amount of time and tried to make things work between us, and it just wasn't happening. So off it went in a tarot trade. And, you know, other tarot decks that I've looked at, I wasn't really into the imagery. So I might be missing out on other like vampire tarot decks that I maybe haven't stumbled across. If you know of any good ones, do drop a comment below. But yes, a vampire deck that I can finally connect with, feel like I can call it mine, add to my collection. That would be my tailor-made deck. And that was my video response to Patsy at 2 Paths Tarot. Let me know what your responses would be by dropping a comment below or pointing me in the direction of your VR on whatever platform you plan to use. And I hope you enjoyed this video. I will see you in the next one. Take care.